Hello, Kriksis here, and welcome everyone to the super cozy studio catch-up. I am going to show you everything that I have been up to in October, and I'm going to show a little bit of art supplies, of sketchbook tour, of Calmtober, and other singular watercolor illustrations. And yeah, it will be kind of chat and show video, so I hope you will enjoy it. If you do, please don't forget to leave this video a like and also comment down below if you would love to have more of these videos. I also invite you to grab yourself a drink. I actually just finished mine, it's empty. But it was Red Bush with orange and it was really good. So I wanted to finish it and I did before I started filming. It's such a gloomy day outside. It's like through November here. It's misty, there's like fog across the fields. It has been raining on and off this morning and it's so dark in the studio because of that. And it's quite windy as well, so it has like all the autumnal qualities to this day. And I just felt like I want to record the cozy video today. October for me has been mostly filled with the drawing challenge called Calmtober. And if you have seen some of my past videos, you might have heard about this in the past, but this is a drawing challenge I started hosting 4 years ago, and it's happening in every October, and this month, last month, was no exception. And yeah, I was really excited to work on it, and it took most of the month for me because it involved planning and sketching, and I also tried to do prompts at the same time as they were happening. So that means I had to be really creative and being fine with some illustrations which I wasn't like really into that much, and I kind of wanted to go with the flow. And if something, like sometimes the first thing that comes to my mind, that's what I went with, because I didn't have like hours and days to plan for one illustration. So I actually used my sketchbook, and this is my hand-binded sketchbook, which I made last December. And I have been sketching prompts for the Calmtober as I went along, and for some of the days the prompts were just coming to me right away, but for others I had to do like 2 or 3 thumbnail sketches. And what that basically means is like small little image of composition, and that helps me to kind of narrow things down. So yeah, I decided to do Calmtober this year on a square, and I used Arches paper. This is the 15 by 30 centimeters, and I basically used washi tape in the middle. So each page would have 2 illustrations, like one here, another one on there. And I still have a lot of pages left. I think I used 8 or 9, and there are 20 of them. So I can use them for another challenge, perhaps. And I also used the Princeton aqua lead brushes and also the Neptune. I have talked about them before, just like my favorite brushes. I love them a lot. And I used watercolors for this year, and all of them are handmade watercolors. I'm such a fan of handmade watercolors, and I mean, my color palette now is quite messy. It's filled with lots of things, and I actually have one pan which I have to take out because it's empty. This is the Captain's Grey from Deep Deep Light, and I love this color a lot. And yeah, I'm out of it because I have used it a lot in the past. But yeah, the color palette, it's like this one. I'm gonna include the color names in the description, but most of them are from the Deep Deep Light. And I also made this one, the color chart, in the past. and these are all the colors combined, except one of them, because I added Moss by Erisius Studio a little bit later in the challenge. But yeah, that was like the materials and the sketchbook work I used, but I thought I'm gonna show you a little bit more sneak peek, and maybe I will have some comments about each of these illustrations. So the first prompt is called Owl, and I have been like painting a lot of owls recently, and I felt like this is perfect way to start the challenge, and I decided to do a night scene, and this is actually, I would say, artwork I feel like it's not outside of my comfort zone. I have been painting a lot of night scene recently and also owl illustrations, and I guess I wanted to start with something I'm more familiar with to just kind of kickstart myself into this challenge. And yeah, I love how peaceful and calm it is. It's just like so cozy, and I love how it turned out. And then the next prompt is called Lantern. And for this one, I wanted to have like the feeling just before the sun rises. So in the dawn, I think dawn or that's dusk. I'm always mixing dawn and dusk one way or another, but it's just the time just before the sun is up. And it's like you can see in the sky, like the sun is going to appear at any second. And I wanted to have that feeling of it. And I always love playing with scale. So if I want to have big trees, I need to add a girl much smaller, so there's more contrast in between them. And yeah, the color palette kind of symbolizes that as well, because there's like blues and then the oranges and reds. It kind of gives this magical wonder feeling as well. And I used, actually, one thing I forgot to tell, I used Darwin drawing pencils in this challenge as well, but I didn't use them heavily. Mostly how I used them was just adding like a line work or sometimes making one area slightly lighter. So it wasn't like with huge differences, but you can see in this prompt in the lantern part, I added white around to kind of give this more magical beam around the lantern. And I also did not paint around the lantern fully. So there is like place around it as well. But yeah, this is the lantern prompt. The next came the wind one. And I have to be honest, when I painted it, I wasn't confident with that prompt. I wasn't sure if I like the composition, if I like how it feels, and the more I look at it, I feel like it's fine. But in that moment, I remember I was like really close to starting over, but I kind of pushed through. It was like in the middle stage, and I thought like, do I really want to start over, or should I just tackle this problem and try to find solution? So this is the wind prompt, and I thought it would be fun to have a girl looking outside and there are leaves falling. I actually added 2 of these leaves later because it was quite empty in this area. So I added these ones after the challenge, but yeah, this is how it looks. And I feel like it's alright. I think in this prompt I felt like it's almost impossible to like everything what you're creating. It's like, I mean, you have to be like really confident about what you're doing. But most of the times, I think artists like love some artworks more than others. And I was just like trying to accept that and feel like that's totally fine. So yeah, this was like the thought process about this prompt. The next prompt is called Quilt, and I wanted to channel my inner savist in this prompt because I love sewing. I have been restarting sewing this February, and I have been sewing a lot of dresses, including this one, which I'm gonna chat a little bit later in the video. But yeah, I really wanted to have like a girl sewing, and I thought she's like doing like a quilting, and this is how it turned out. I wanted to play with patterns, and I love a lot of checked and gingham dresses and patterns, and I thought she's making like autumn quilt, so I added lettering in it as well, which was something a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I don't normally add text inside my illustrations. I guess one exception is like my signature, but other than that, I don't add text. So this is a little bit tricky when I was like, hello autumn as a text. But yeah, this is how it turned out. I think for this prompt, I love some parts, I don't like other parts, but it's part of the process. And yeah, so the next prompt is called lightning. And I have to confess something. Actually, I am terrified of lightning. Whenever I see the weather and if it's going to be thunder and lightning, I'm like locked up inside the house. All the lights are off, all the electricity is off. I'm like adding the candlelight and sitting in the corner because I don't like lightning. But I thought I want to include this prompt because to face the fears, you need to look straight into it. And I felt like maybe I could make like a cozy illustration. And there is a girl looking outside of the window, which with like open curtains, which would be something I would never do. But she's knitting, and that felt like really cozy and calm. And there's like a yarn basket. And yeah, this is like the prompt, how I tackled it. And funny story, I almost went for the wind prompt with this composition. At first I thought it will be light outside of the window and there will be leaves falling, but then I went with this composition instead. But yeah, this was like the first thought process, like with the composition. And I feel like in this moment I'm in the stage of painting a lot of windows. I'm going to show you a little bit later. You will notice I have several windows in the Calmtober. Then I have two artworks which I have done recently, and they also are featuring windows or windowsills. So this is like a theme that's starting to come and appear into my work, which is super exciting. Another prompt name is called Ink. I'm looking at the prompt list in case if you see me peeking through there. So the next prompt is called Ink, and this is the prompt which I made. And I wanted to do another night scene, and I mean, I had to include owl because I still love painting them. And I felt like maybe the owl is like in the tree hello, and there's a girl writing, and maybe the owl is writing as well. So it's like kind of like a writing club. And there's a little bit of the cupboard with inks, which actually were inspired by my little treasure, what's the name? Little cabinet. And it looks really similar to that cabinet I have here. And the next prompt is called Path, and this is the illustration I did for it. Again, I also wanted to do like a golden light weather. There's like a lot of yellows in the background, and there's a girl and she's mushroom picking, and there are some mushrooms on the trees. And this idea for artwork has been inspired by my recent walks in the forest. I have seen a lot of mushrooms here, and I really wanted to channel that throughout my work. And I also have seen a lot of mushrooms on top of the trees, so that's why there are mushrooms on top of the trees. And I love this artwork, I really do. And I am thinking about creating this as a postcard for my website as well. In fact, I'm choosing 8 of these Calmtober illustrations to have as a postcards in my website. So that's going to come up super soon. The middle prompt is called sunflower, and I wanted to have like a flower of sort for this challenge, and I was thinking what kind of what kind of flower I want to include, and I quickly came to realization that I want to do a sunflower. I love the color palette the sunflower has, and I love the shape as well, so I thought that could be fun. And this is kind of my recreation of the past work I have done. So this is the illustration, there's a girl sitting on a sunflower and holding a blackbird. It's kind of like a dreamlike fairy. I think a couple years back I did like a girl sitting on a sunflower, so I definitely was inspired by that, but I came to new composition idea and different approach. And yeah, I feel like this is like really sweet artwork, and also it has like this dress which is really similar to the dress I'm wearing. I feel like I'm unconsciously adding the clothing in my illustrations the way I would love to have them in my collection. So I'm kind of, sometimes I'm including clothing I already have in my illustrations, and sometimes I'm painting something I would love to have in my collection, if that makes sense. The next prompt is called Fog, and I would say this is also one of my favorites. I really love the composition, and I love that this is different way of painting flying bird and girl, because I have done a lot of birds and girls flying. But yeah, I like this composition. I love the fields in the background, and I wanted to make them super foggy, and I think I achieved that because it's like really light layers, and there is definitely a contrast between foreground and background. And the blackbird, I wanted to pick a blackbird because of the color, but also of the shape. And yeah, I feel like it fits the vibe, and this is one of my favorite for this challenge. Okay, the next prompt is called Scone, and this is how it looks. I did the illustration 3 years ago with two girls having a tea party, and I think it was with prompt tea time. And I wanted to have similar composition, but in the end I thought, no, I'm gonna make it slightly different. So there's a cat sitting on the windowsill, and as you can see, there's like a window in the background. But yeah, I love how cozy it is. I love the table, and there are scones and jam and butter, so all the good things. And then the next illustration I painted is called Garland, and this is a story of I had no idea what to do for this prompt, and I used my sketchbook to sketch 3 or 4 different options, and I wasn't like really happy with anything, so I was like, if I don't know what to paint, I'm gonna paint foxes. So I painted a fox with holding a garland, and it's like, it was a little bit, at the time when I was creating it, it felt like a little bit off from the rest of the challenge, because so far all the prompts had a girl in them, and this was the first time where it was just a fox and that's it. But in a way, I mean, that moment was like, I didn't know what to do, so this is what I went with it. As I told you before, I didn't have like everything figured out before I jumped into this challenge. I went along and painted, and I came up with these composition ideas as I went in this challenge. And sometimes it was like the same day I need to finish it, I also need to start it, and I also need to figure out the composition. So I mean, it's not the most efficient way. I think the best would be like all the compositions are figured out, but at the same time, it's so much fun when you don't know what you will do in the end. And yeah, the fox is here. The next prompt is called Pine, and I love this one. I have been doing a lot of walks, as I told you, in the forest in October, and one of the walks I did was like in really piney, foresty area, and there was a little bit of deforestation happening there. There were a lot of cut down trees, and I really wanted to have like this artwork showing foreground with less trees and in background more trees. And this is also one of my favorite. I think I kind of captured that there's like a forest in the background, but then you see some of the trees up here, and because it's pine, we don't see the tops in this moment. And there is also a girl cycling. The next prompt is called Craft, and I love doing crafts. I was thinking like, what can I do for this prompt, because I love pottery, I love sewing, I love knitting, I love bookbinding. And I was like sketching a girl like doing a pottery on a wheel. Wait, let me just find it. Yeah, so I was sketching this girl on a pottery wheel. And I was like, yeah, this could be like a fun composition. And then I was like looking at my floor, and my floor was covered with different piles of things I have started. Like there was one pile with cutout fabric for a dress, another pile for another dress. Then there was like some yarn and like another video idea I had in mind for YouTube. And I was like, let's just do like a floor layout with a different craft, because I want to embrace that I love doing different things. And yeah, this is how this prompt turned out. And I mean, my floor is messy, I would say 90% of the time. Even now, I have two piles. I have one pile with video idea, another pile with the dress I need to do overlock, and then I have another pile with the cushions I'm making for the house. So I felt like this is like so authentically me, and I really love how it turned out. And I think this will be also a postcard I'm gonna make for my shop. The next prompt is called runner duck, and another thing which I have been really into has been like runner ducks. And I have had like a lot of accessories in the house now with runner ducks. We have like flower vase with runner duck. We have just like flower. We also have runner duck as like a sculpture of sorts in the house. And we just got like runner duck night lamp. And yeah, I was like, okay, let's just do like runner ducks. And I felt like, because I did that fox for one of the prompts, I really wanted to balance it out. And I also have another prompt where there is no girl whatsoever. And yeah, they're just two runner ducks. I mean, three almost. There's a little bit visible that, but yeah, it's a night scene. A runner duck is holding a lantern. I love how magical it looks, and yeah, I loved creating this artwork. I feel it's super cozy and magical, and it's like, why is runner duck holding a lantern in the middle of the night and walking somewhere? It's like a little bit of mystery as well. So 2 more prompts left, and yeah, it's like a lot of Calmtober heavy art making for me this month. And the next prompt is called brass, and this is how it turned out. There's like a brass mirror frame, and actually the view you can see up there, it's actually the view I see in front of me. There's like a wardrobe and a window on the side, and like it feels really like strange because it's a little bit like what I see inside the studio. But yeah, I love how it turned out. I love the composition. I haven't done a lot of mirror artworks in the past, and I would love to explore this a little bit as well. And the last prompt is called Burrow, and this is not my favorite artwork, but it's part of the process. And it's a girl inside the burrow, and there's like burrow, owl, and they're by the fireplace having a cup of tea, and you can see a little bit of night outside. And yeah, I would love to maybe redo it, but at the same time, it's here and it's part of the process. And yeah, I feel like I have done a lot of art making this past month, and I have finished 16 illustrations, which I'm so happy about. And actually, this week, what I have been doing a Calmtober zine preparation, because I want to have another zine in my shop, and I'm gonna order it tomorrow, which is super exciting. I'm almost finished with the zine, but I thought I'm gonna show you little sneak peeks. So, because there's a lot of night scenes and owls, I felt like I could include this artwork, which I did in September or August this year, as a cover picture. And so half of it will be the cover of the Calmtober zine, and this will be the back side. And because of this, I also did like end paper. So this is what I painted just now. So there's like lantern, and this is going to be end papers for the zine. And I also did tiny little illustration of a girl sitting on top of a hill, and I wanted to have this either like as a title page for Calmtober zine or the end papers, something like that. And yeah, it's going to be a title page for the zine. And yeah, this is like about the Calmtober, about the zine. So I'm planning to have a shop update, the last shop update of the year on 21st of November. And I'm planning to sell some of the postcards from Calmtober, as well as the Calmtober zine and original work. And there might be some other postcards, but yeah, so this is like really exciting. I hope I can do it on 21st because I want to have it just before December, so people can order before it's a little bit too late to ship out. But yeah, this is like the Calmtober. This is about the zine and other artworks, like some other artworks I have been doing. This is what I did in the middle of October, and it's slightly bigger. It's kind of in between A5 and A4, and there's a girl looking outside the window, and yeah, I really, really enjoyed working on it. And as you can see, I'm a little bit obsessed with doing the window views right now. I might do something about it, like create like collection of window view in my work. And yeah, I did this, I think, also with Calmtober color palette, if I remember correctly. And there's a little bit of pencil there as well, more like in the background, for example. A few things I just created in November. So I did a Patreon reward for November, and it has like a little bit of Christmassy feel to it, but it's not like heavily Christmas. So there's a girl drinking a tea and a cat looking outside, and there's like a Christmas tree in the background, some garland with birds and some patterns and candle and little cinnamon bun. And yeah, I really love how cozy it is. I might create this into a postcard because I am attending a lot of Christmas markets this year, and I feel it would look really lovely as a card. And the last artwork I have done, I have created like a lot of artworks. It's like full on art creation for me this month and last month. The last thing I have created is a postcard for this Christmas, and this is also going to be in my website in the shop update. I did little tiny robin. I'm so happy how it turned out. I painted it yesterday. It's little robin with a Christmas hat, and there's like a Christmas cracker as a bag. And yeah, he's just chilling there and sitting there, and little bit of background is kind of inspired by the fog artwork, where you can see a little bit of field, but it's mostly blurry, and yeah, there's little snowflakes as well. And I really love this one, and I feel this could be a lovely greetings card, but I think I'm gonna turn it into a postcard. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really happy how it turned out. It's also done with the Calmtober color palette. So this is like my art creation this month. I'm gonna show you a little bit of the sketchbook work, but before that, I just realized there's one more thing I want to share. I have these ones. These are empty greetings cards with folded middle part. And I bought them 2 or 3 years ago, and they are empty and sitting here, and I have been moving from my previous studio to this one, and I realized like I completely forgot about them. And my plan in the past was to make them into a greetings card using lino printing, and I haven't done anything with them, and I felt like I should really do something with them this season. So I'm also going to make lino printing designs. I might do them mostly for the craft fairs I'm doing, because I'm going to participate in 4 Christmas fairs this season, but I want to include some in website as well. And I haven't done lino printing in the past 2 or 3 years. It's been a while, but I would love to restart, and I think this is a perfect excuse because there's nothing worse than something sitting unused. But in the past, it was like idea to create something out of it, and yeah, I just really want to use this all up, and I think this would be a perfect greeting card opportunity, especially in Christmas time. Okay. The last few things of this podcast, I want to show a little bit of my sketchbook tour and what I have been up to in October. So I have done like Calmtober sketches, and these I'm actually have scanned and they will be available inside the Calmtober zine. Another thing which I have been doing is participating in Zoom drawing sessions. So I hosted Autumn Bird Zoom drawing session, which is free on my Patreon. If you join as a free member, you can also see a replay and paint the birds as well. I actually plan to do one more free Zoom drawing session in December. So definitely sign up to my Patreon. You can do a free member, so you can have access, or you can join as a paid member, as you wish. And I host usually 2 drawing sessions per month. One other session I did was Black Cat, and they have been done with the writing ink. And it was really fun to do them. I think there's one more on this side. So there are more cats happening here. And this is another Zoom drawing session I did, which is called Tree Hollow. I also have been participating in Natasha Newton's Zoom drawing session, so her session this last month was slightly spooky. I don't have like a lot of sketchbook work this month because I have been like painting, mostly fine illustrations, but this is one of the artworks I have done for the last YouTube video. So this is in the forest. And so yeah, I think this is all I have created. For me, it's a lot. I usually don't paint as many fine illustrations per month because it takes a lot of time for me. I mean, some of these Calmtober illustrations have taken me one full day, or sometimes I split it in between 2 days. And some paintings like this I can do in one day, but then if it becomes a little bit longer or bigger, then I paint it over 2 or 3 days. And I think that's why I try to work on smaller sizes, because then I can do more work. And I feel really happy about my decision to do it on these 15 by 15 centimeter papers, because I feel like it's less stressful for me. I know that I can achieve it. I know it's not like huge size. And I mean, when I put them all together, it feels like A1 size, which is amazing. It feels like I have done one big artwork in that month. I have seen some people who have participated in Calmtober do like them on one paper, or try to finish one illustration with all the prompts together. And yeah, it has been like really fun to see what everyone else has been up to with the Calmtober. And I have tried to see as many artworks as I can, and yeah, it's been really inspiring to share a prompt and then see what everyone else is up to. Okay. This is like little part of other crafts projects I have been doing, and I love doing other crafty things besides art making. And I feel October has been like really busy with Calmtober and sharing all the other things on Patreon and YouTube. So I haven't had a lot of time, but I did create this dress. I'm going to show you a little bit of footage how it turned out. And this is a dress by Grow Studio. And I was selected as a test savist, which I have done in the past for them as well. And I just love how it turned out. I mean, it's just so gorgeous. It has like puff sleeves, and it there's like a lot of gathering, and there's buttons and a collar. And I love this dress. It just feels so cozy and warm, and it reminds me of Little Women and of Anne with an E. And yeah, I just love it so much. And another sewing project I have started doing, which is like really random, but I'm doing like cushions for the chairs, for the dining room chairs. And I mean, it's not finished. As you can see, there's like a material inside, and I need to add these loops so I can tie them into the chair and they will not move around. And yeah, this is like a thrifted fabric I had, and it gives like this really farmhouse feel to them. So this is like how it looks so far, but I have to do 4 of them. Yeah, this is just another part which I'm doing. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to my rambles about art making and a little bit about the crafting. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like. If you stay till the very end, write in the comments mushroom, so I will know. And I'm gonna see you super soon. I have one video planned, which is the Nature's Palette color wheel video. And then I'm gonna do a shop update, so I might share a little bit behind the scenes next time. And yeah, I hope you're having a good day. Thank you to my lovely Patreons for all the support, and I'm gonna chat to you super soon. Bye everyone.